Maybe. Yes. Is it too loud, though? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Oopsie. Let's put that there. 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 Perfect. And then I'll see if Victor's joining. While we wait, one day we'll have an intro screen. It'll say, welcome, hello, starting soon. But we don't have that today. All we have is this. Guys, all we have is each other. While I move everything around in my life. I'm waiting for Victor, so I'm just going to mess around or something. Let me make sure the cheats are on, though. And they kind of are not. While I wait, some days I sit staring at my window, watching the world pass me by. People make jokes 'cause they don't understand something. Oh, I watch her. Hey, you have this little window now. I never noticed that little window. Look at that. You can see my one of the files. Isn't that fun? I'll open up a splash scene. Wonder why that is. Is that the Unity hold on window that you can see? I don't know. There's auto scene, see? Actual game scene. Boot sequence. I don't know what that is. Main menu, Perlin testing, splashing, touching, fiction. Go. Ugh. Just waiting. Just waiting. What were the changes? Oh, I'm waiting for Victor to get here. I got some things to talk about. If he is in fact getting here, because it started about, I went live about 5 minutes late. So I wonder if Victor is just sort of waiting. Was that I mess up an autosave? Probably. I'm just waiting. Just waiting. Just killing time. What else could we do? We could look up Dr. Disrespect's new game studio and see if I can get a job there instead of doing Starmancer stuff. Already looked. It says I use Unreal Engine, so probably not. But if I was using Unity, maybe there's a chance. Then I could meet Guy Beam. And I could be like, what's up, Guy Beam? Do you sign my checks? And he'll be like, I do. I'd be like, cool. Cool, Guy Beam. How fun. Again, waiting for Victor. So, just waiting. Just waiting for Victor. If he's coming, I don't know if he's going to be here today. Because if he is, I want to brainstorm a little bit with him. If he's not, I'll find something that's more interesting. Because you can't really brainstorm by yourself out loud. It's certainly not normal to be in your house and be like, oh, I know, I'll say this out loud. So I'm hoping he gets here because I want to talk about some ideas. Because it's easy to talk about ideas by yourself. In your own head, because in your own head they make sense. In your own head, you wouldn't suggest an idea to yourself that like you can very immediately dismiss. You'd be like, oh, I think it's workable, and then you talk to someone else, and they say, yeah, you know what, you weren't looking at it the right way. This is harder than you think it might be. Also, that's what she said. So I'm waiting. Do do do. No, I'm just gonna play while I wait. I don't care. Who refuses? Workbench, clean floor. Doesn't really matter. That's probably fine. That's probably fine. I'm just gonna try 3 people. I'm gonna see what happens with 3 people. And I don't think I have any cheats. I do not. So, you know what's funny? There's a time when you open this research window, and it would take a long time to open it, like a stupid amount of time. And it internally, it's literally being turned off and turned on again. So when you first open this for the first time, this whole sort of scene is created. So the scene with all of this stuff is created for the first time. And what Victor, so I wasn't me, it was Victor. Victor went through, he opened up the profiler in Unity. You know, you go to like sequencing, analysis. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not, so I'll see in a second. You cannot, it's too bad. But there's a profile window, he had a profile window, and then the way it's implemented is we just disable this whole thing, and then we just re-enable it whenever the user opens it, so it's a lot faster. You don't have to sort of make it, sort of caching it or something like that. But just doing this would take like a non-zero amount of time, so it's just some Unity issues, right? So he went through and he made it perform a lot better. I'm pretty sure I've broken something, because can I make this work somehow? Did I royally screw myself? I have to close this window within the game means of closing this window, or else something terrible will happen. Okay, I just press escape. Oh, I see what happened. My scale here. See this? My scale? My scale got all weird. And so when you can see zooms in. So like I couldn't see these buttons. I was like, oh no. And I didn't realize. So like I was like, oh no. And this happens usually if you pause and try to zoom in. So I'm scrolling with the mouse wheel right now, and then it just automatically changes the scale, because you might want to do that all sorts of times in the game, because what might be happening, maybe your game's like this zoom level, but you notice something weird. So what you can do is you can pause and zoom in and be like, what is that? Now, the user would never zoom in this far, but we do sometimes. I don't, but I mean, you can imagine why it does this, right? And then you can look at it and be like, oh, okay. So zoom in.
I hate daylight saving time.
Oh, man. That's what it's all about. Should I wait an hour? I totally forgot too, man. Do you think I should like wait an hour? I totally forgot about daylight savings time. Wow, you're right. And the thing is, you had message, you were green, so I was like, oh, okay, it must be the right time. But because you don't think, when you're living in daylight savings time, you don't think about it. You're not like, oh, daylight savings time is coming up. Better, I don't know. I do not function well on a low amount of sleep. I barely got any sleep on, I think, Wednesday night, which is why I didn't work yesterday. I think I got like 1 hour of sleep. I'm not joking. And then this morning, I just I dropped my kids off, and I slept from like 9 to like 10:30. I just went and got a little bit more sleep. If I don't get like 8 hours of sleep, like I don't know. My body is just stupid. It's like I can't motivate myself to do things if I'm tired even. It's like I lose my ability to not be an animal, to not be a lazy slob of crap if I sleep, or if I don't get enough sleep.
I thought I had like another hour, so it's been
Right, I don't blame you whatsoever. Everyone else too, if anyone was usually watching, they're probably like, I got an hour to go, I got 45 minutes. Hey, on the positive side, this will be one of the first times that the stream is started by the correct time, which is, well, usually 11, my time. But from their perspective, it'll be whatever. This is kind of early. What do we do now? What do we do now? What do we do? Let's go sit here. Yeah, savings time is so freaking backwards, man.
Yeah. You should check out the latest poll request.
Did I check it out, or I should check it out, you said?
You should.
No, check it out. What's up, Uskraga the Mighty? It's daylight savings time, and I forgot. So, the thing about daylight savings time is it's not standardized throughout the world. So my time zone it's 11 for me right now, 11:15. But for Victor, it's 10:15. I mean, really, it's like 4. It's like 2:15 in the afternoon for him because he's in Sweden. But he's like an hour behind where he should be. So I start streaming, and he's like, "Why are you here?" And I'm like, "Because it's 11." He's like, "Oh, I guess it is technically for you." Like, yeah, my bad. Do you like when I tell stories in which you were involved, but like my story is more interesting than the real story? That's what people tell stories, you know. It's like you just sort of. If you tell like the literal truth, it'd be boring. It'd be like, oh yeah, Victor, I didn't know where he was. Then he said, "What's up?" I'm back. There's something I forgot. I'm like, that's a boring story. Right click, more monsters. Check out more monster sprites, and then I'm gonna merge generation into this as well, I believe. More monsters. Okay. What did you do that was interesting with the monsters? Black screen. Is there a way I can put like a background on OBS so that anytime nothing else is displayed, I'm like in space or something? There must be. It'd be like the very bottom. A very bottom source would be like an image, but I don't even know how to do images. What is image? What if I just type in image and create a new image, and then image file I browse? What is this one? What if I do the character sheets? That's kind of cool, actually. So that's how you do images. That's easy. And I would just do that one sort of last, maybe.
Yeah.
Because Unity's going to cover it up, and then I can just kind of be like, look, here's just... And then it can be there in the background because it's more interesting. So once Unity is up, you can't see it. But then it's just like a fun... In my mind, it's some sort of fun kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay, well, like, you can't see the rest of the stuff, but while this is black, at least you get this other thing to look at. Cool.
There should be like the roadmap.
I don't have access. I mean, it might be in Dropbox or something. But,
paper size, yeah.
But like on my computer, all I had was that image. I can even put it back. Yeah, this is like concept art that Victor made. It's not. I mean, a concept. Yeah, I would describe it as concept art. Concept art for monsters. That Victor made this. Or enemies, critters, something like that. Not necessarily bad things, just concept art. And some. Okay. So I merged his pull request. So I did whatever.
No?
Oh yes, roadmap is quite good as well. Save image as roadmap 1080. Save. How does this work? This is a very experimental sort of thing. I'm also not sure if Steam streaming works on Restream. I've tried it a few times. Today I even tried restarting it and like disconnecting and reconnecting it. I think that just doesn't work. Okay, so we're gonna call this a roadmap.
What do you say?
Steam. Yes, Steam. Through using Restream specifically. Does not seem to.
We're getting it streaming on Steam as well.
Yeah, but is it? I don't know if it is. That's my point. Sort of my point.
Well,
at least.
last time I looked, it was.
Oh, cool. Because like I can't edit basic things on Steam that I can do elsewhere. You know. The roadmap's pretty cool. Like the roadmap might be sort of like it's 1080, so it's like kind of a nice size.
Yeah. Now your webcam is gone. So.
Yeah, I hit it just so.
Oh, okay.
Just so I could look at the roadmap more. This is for everyone. This is live. This is happening, you know? This isn't just for the users, Victor. This is for me, too. And I'm literally, like, off screen. You can see I put my hand on my, like... I'm, like, curious. I'm like, what is this? Because, you know, we make these things, but you don't really sort of look at it that often.
Yeah.
That is Robot Diglett. It absolutely is Robot Diglett. And then if you form enough of them, they become Doug Trios. Robot Doug Trios, that is. Ah, man. Is there like a game we could play, Victor? Yeah, it'd be fun.
Well, there's a game we're making.
You're talking about Starmancer?
Yeah.
I guess we could play that game. I was thinking more of like if there was like a game we haven't played in forever. That would be like, oh yeah, you know what we could play on stream today? It's this. Because we have like an hour to kill before regular time. This image. Where could I put it? Maybe I'll just kind of put it on top of the black screen. Something like that. It's kind of fun. I wish there was a way like streams could be like really complicated where you could have like a bunch of sort of areas to them, you know? Like so the users are like, well, if I want to watch the sort of like Unity, I can click that. But if I want to check the roadmap real quick, I can do that via the stream. Wouldn't that be really cool if you like click on something, be like, there's like a tab that says click here to view the roadmap, and then you can just kind of view that, and that'd be really nice. What things? So I merged your pull request. What things do you want me to show off? Like, what'd you do that's like exciting? You're like, hell yeah, dude! I want people to see. I need people to see.
Well, let's see.
The fuck is a driller bot? What is a driller bot?
Check that out.
What is a mover bot? What these are like bots that you use for like. Well, we'll check it out live. Okay, open scene, Tyler scene. I'm hungry. I didn't eat before this because I wasn't sure. It was one of those situations where I'm like, am I hungry? You know? Am I hungry? Or am I just eating because I'm bored?
Yeah, take like a banana or something and I put it next to my keyboard just in case.
That's like what I tend to do is have these little snacks because they're kind of perfect.
Yeah.
If I eat too much, I get like sluggish.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe I have to poop or something. Same thing with water. I've been drinking so many liquid IVs, which I find really helpful. Because I like put like things in the water, like salts. It's like a powder, so it's like some salts and stuff, salts and minerals. I don't know, right? And it allows your body.
They call like electrolytes, right?
Yeah, I think I've heard that. Idiocracy and on Gatorades. So, yeah, which makes you feel a lot faster. But because my doctor told me getting tired for eating is sign of sleep apnea, I was like, well, doc, hold up. Well, Mitch, I also wonder if getting tired for sleep is a sign of you're just eating like a monster, like a pig. Like you're eating like a robot piglet, and you're just like eating and eating and eating. You're eating so much. But isn't getting tired after eating kind of normal? It's like when your body's no longer as an animal.
Pull out the pools into your stomach as well to like process.
Right. Isn't it kind of normal? Like a bunch of resources have to be used. And also you don't have to go running around because you got food in your belly. You can relax. You got food. You don't have to look for it. Is any time you get tired a sign of sleep apnea? I guess it depends how tired Mitch gets. But if Mitch gets so tired, he's like passes out. Like he just can't function. Because I definitely get sluggish after I eat. And like I get like I feel like I'm not sharp would be how I would describe it, I think.
Yeah.
There's just something, there's some sort of fog, it's like harder for me to think about things. I don't know. When I eat, I just want to watch TV basically and like sit down.
But it's like...
Yeah, if you're a bad snorer. Yeah. Yeah, I was specifically just mentioning the part about after eating. You might have sleep apnea. Yeah. Which isn't good, because then you're not really sleeping. You're just like basically going unconscious, but you're not sleeping. It's like taking a sedative to sleep. Okay.
I think when you don't eat, your body goes into like sort of hunting for food mode.
Right, I think so as well. Where it's like we got to have all hands on deck right now.
Yeah.
And we
but
need
then
to.
when you eat, it's like okay, now it's. Like,
I'm gonna live. I'm gonna live. We can relax now.
Yeah.
We found the food. You know, we're in the wilderness.
Yeah.
We found the food. Don't worry about it. Just have fun. And also, we probably evolved to eat in groups. You know, like we didn't evolve to really be alone like ever. So when you eat, you're like, okay, cool. I got my buddies around me. We can just sort of relax. Here's the thing about Mitch. I forget to eat too, but I know that I actually eat a lot. You know, like I know that I'm eating enough. I'm eating more than I'm eating more calories than I burn, even though I barely ever eat, which is really frustrating because I eat so many snacks. But not like a lot of snacks, but it's like enough. Victor might know. Victor's kind of skinny. When you're like skinny in high school, and that's your body type is skinny, you can really take advantage of it when you're in high school. Then as you become a man and you start to get fatter, like it is the most unflattering transition to average looking dude when you start on a skinny frame. Because it all goes to your belly. Like men fat goes to their belly. But when you're tiny, like the belly is so obvious. Like you have these scrawny arms, but then your belly is like so big. And you try to tell people like I'm getting fatter, and they're like, no, you're so skinny. And you're like, you're just looking at my arms. You're not actually looking at my belly. Like my belly looks disgusting. Like it's just because I'm smaller that it's yes, my belly is technically statically smaller in the same way that my hands are smaller than a guy who's like really, really big, you know? But if you look at it proportionally, My stomach is not skinny. It's like average. It's like average European dude, sort of. Yeah. Well, that's what. So dad bod is basically basically working out but not dieting, or still being a little chunky, but not that chunky, just a little chunky. Dad bod isn't just being a fat blob. You know, when fat dudes are like, I got dad bod, I'm like, no, you don't. You're just fat. But if you're fat and strong, like if you're Jason Momoa after he's done working on Aquaman and he just puts on a few pounds, like, oh, that's pretty attractive. That's what bitches. That's what bitches. I said. That's what people don't realize is that when they see like crazy workout guys, you know, like Arnold Schwarzenegger or something, like on the stage, like, ugh, gross, and it is kind of gross. But the thing is, if that guy just takes like a month off of lifting and just eats Doritos again, he'll look pretty good because he's gonna start getting that dad bod, and he's so strong. And then all of those disgusting sort of muscles that you can see every individual one, they're gonna start to smooth over as he gets fatter, you know. And starts working out so much. And then he'll look like a pretty cool looking, maybe he'll be too big, maybe he looks stupid, his face looks bad, and you just never like him anyway. But in terms of body, I feel like that guy is still pretty attractive, you know, after he's done with the tournaments. Because even like Olympic athletes often don't look that attractive to me. I mean, the females at least, they don't look, they're like, oh, okay, this is cool. I wouldn't say they're ugly, but like, they don't look attractive to me. They're kind of like gross almost because they're just like so muscly. But I guarantee that once competition's over, you know, once they go back to relaxing, they're just these people who excel at pushing themselves. Except that, do you think like
like boxers do that? They take it to the extreme because they have like their weigh-ins, so they have to like
that's nuts. Yeah,
slim down like
right, because they have weight classes, which is fair because someone who's 300 pounds should not fight someone who's 100 pounds because there's a very small chance, a very very small chance that they could do anything about that. Yeah, and so then what you naturally have to do is it makes it a little game, and the game is how much can I cheat in the weigh-in to make it seem like I'm actually 150 pounds when we all know you're actually 160 or 165 or something because you're burning off water that you're going to put right back in your body. But like, what's the alternative for real? Like, it'd be really hard to sort of figure it out because it can't just be the honor system because people will cheat. And we're talking about cheating in a sport where someone can punch you in the face. So, I don't know. All right, what's this mover bot? Let's pull it up.
That's like a demo animation.
Mover bot model. This is not a mover bot. This is the... Oh, I see. Oh, I see. That was in 2D, so all it was Galarium. And I was like, what? Why is it just Galarium, Victor? This isn't... And I thought maybe that the first sprite was messed up, and it was just like, I'm like, whatever. Oh, I see. I accidentally double-clicked it, but I need to double-click this instead. Where are you going, bro? Is he moving right now? Or am I just moving? Yeah, he's moving a little bit. How is he moving? You must have done it in the animation.
The animation.
So it's like, what the hell's happening? I'm like, what is happening right now?
Also, to sort of align the camera.
I'm gonna go into the main sort of. Okay, where's he going? It's like he moves in a way. Oh, I see. It resets his position back to 0, 0, 0 is what happens probably. Okay. How do I just disable some of these animations so I can look at this little bastard? Look at this little Roomba little bastard. Animator. He's got no parameters, does he? Because this is a real demo, isn't it? This is a real demo, Victor. Which is fine. I don't care. That's fine. I get it. I implement things all the time. You're like, Tyler, how come I can't do this? I'm like, because you jackass. Do you think this was easy to do in the first place? So I'm not mad. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I understand like the constraints. It's no problem.
Might have to rotate the camera as well for him to face like the correct direction.
And he's got little speech bubbles too, which is always fun. In his case, the speech bubbles could genuinely just be random whenever he's near a columnist, perhaps. Or, and also he's on fire, which is funny, and then he runs away. Or he could, which I'm noticing, just so I'm not missing it, I'm seeing it. Or he could genuinely talk to them, and they could restore morale or something, maybe. Or maybe a nice memory, like I saw. Or just literally just for fluff, which could be fine too, you know?
Yeah. Also, if you place floors under...
his Y position is bad, and I wasn't sure if it was set in the animation. Because it's like 0, but it should be like 0.001, you know?
Oh, I see.
And I didn't know if the animation was just going to reset it. That's why I didn't do it. But I'll see if it does. It might not. It does. Yeah, it does. So that's why I was like, I don't know if I could,
like
you know?
Under the floor.
Right, I didn't know. So I was like, oh, no. So I thought the same thing. So I'm like, it's just floating in space and you get a good sense of scale. It's not grounded anywhere. But you really can't. Yeah, this one looks cool and very easy. And the thing is, it's not even necessary that they visually carry the items. We could still make them visually carry the items. Yeah. What I said was it's not necessary. Like,
Yeah.
like,
That's very cool.
of course it's cool. Yeah, it does. It doesn't cost carry it. But if that's like because when I look at those things, I'm always like, oh no, kill me. Because you know, I didn't make the system for the items and the item crates. It's a real pain in the ass. It's a real. I mean, the thing is, I made plenty of systems that were terrible, but this particular system I didn't make. And when you yourself make a system that's terrible, you're like, well, at least I understand, sort of, what the intention was. I understand the intention even with the other systems I didn't make. I understand the intention, but but it's even further away from what it's supposed to do. And then you're not trying to break anything, which is really the harder part. It's like, uh-oh.
No.
This one should be easier because it can only carry one thing anyway. So it can be a very, then again, should they? Probably. I mean, I think it would be fun if the colonists are more crafters and less movers. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. You know how, like, Roombas, they, like, smear shit over the floor, like, if a dog poops on the
right.
floor and the Roomba comes.
Because they're dumb. They're Roombas, yeah. You want them to smear biomass or bio-waste, rather, if they step on it?
No, I was thinking more like if there's a fire, they should go through it and start burning and then spreading the fire.
That would be funny, right? Because they're dumb, right? Because they're stupid. They don't know what they're doing. That could be funny. What else do you have that's here to show? Drillerbot? That's a different thing, probably. Are those the only two new ones? I'm just kind of looking through real quick. I see Moverbot and Drillerbot.
Animations as well.
Yeah. If it's worth showing, if you want me to show it, no problem. I'm asking you, like, what should I show off? I'm just looking through the changelog.
Yeah, look at the.
What's a magic effect?
Portal.
What is that for?
Oh, that was for like if the like the eye portal, if it's gonna do something to the colonist.
And what do we need now? The Drillbot.
Yeah.
The Drillbot.
There's the mushroom and the cutter.
I'm gonna move him to. Now, what is the purpose of the Drillbot? Now, perhaps you don't know. Maybe you just made it for fun. I asked that because he seems to come from the ground.
Yeah.
That's why I'm asking. Like, what's his part? What's his intention? Is it? You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing underground. It's like, what's his purpose? It's like, does he dig? Is he supposed to? Is he supposed to be like a bot that the player uses, or is he just a critter? Like right. Okay. That's why I was because like the mover bot is clearly like, oh, that's for the station. Then like, what's the driller bot's purpose? Because underneath your station. It's just space. Yeah. So he's like, I've drilled through the floor. I found you, boss. And then the atmosphere gets vented. Everybody dies. He's like, what did I do? It would make venting atmosphere easier. You could do it on demand, like a grenade. You order where you want the drill bot to dig. You know, that would be sort of fun. Like, I feel like there was something that was fun when the build bots built stuff, but something was lost because it was too easy. I think it'd be the most fun if you had like robots that built for you, because then it'd really feel like you're like building this robotic station, you know? Yeah. But I think it's more fun having colonists construct than having build bots construct, because if you remember the build bots, it was just sort of like.
Yeah. But also the build bots didn't feel like they were really in the world. They felt more like an animation, while the colonists
Right, they walk, they have constraints. You know,
if the
if
bots had the same constraints.
Right. Then you're right. Then maybe because they're really just slowing them down, but also it's forcing you to, maybe place a room near another room because travel time's a thing, and you want them to get get there or something. And also you can put more resources on it if you need to. I think is an important thing. And probably it's fine if the colonists do the job, and then the bots can be used to eventually replace them. I think silicon would make a great. Seems to me that silicon would be the perfect resource for the bot tier.
Also, you'll have to toggle like different animation states on the drill bot because it doesn't have a demo.
If the drill bot is dead, I might have to disable him and re-enable him to. Often the dead animations are sort of one shots that can't get moved. Did you know that for one frame the drill bot was just a malfunctioning robot?
Yeah, I saw that. I was
like, what was that?
Where did that come from?
Probably just a copy paste somewhere, honestly. This is really not a big deal. Attack. Okay, his attack. It looks like he's moving his eyes back and forth. Perhaps he will, in fact, attack.
He has just like some.
He's wearing his hat. He's doing something different.
Oh yeah, that's just like the idle animation.
Mitch, how long do you have to live with your in-laws? By the way. for like one day, for 1 month, because Mitch has to move with his in-laws with his baby. Mitch has one baby, another baby on the way, and then his baby mama. He calls it his wife. I call it his baby mama. He's gonna live with his parents. He's convinced that his father-in-law has had a stroke recently as well. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of drama going on in Mitch's life. He might have sleep apnea as well. And recently he would describe his body as blob-shaped. So a lot of interesting thing from the Mitch front going on. That wasn't me making fun of us because he said, I went from fit in high school to dad bod to dad blob. I wasn't independently. I was using Mitch's terms. I wasn't just being like, Mitch, you have a dad blob. But dad bod is a... Dad bod is kind of like what fat guys say. They're like when girls are really big and they're like, yeah, but I have big boobs though. And we're like, yeah, but you're still kind of fat. That's like when really fat guys are like, I've got dad bod. You're like, do you though? Do you though? We don't really care. Chicks are weird because they'll date guys that I find disgusting. And I'm like, well, I don't like dudes. I guess that makes... Like, they like men. You know what I mean? But, like, I like women. And so I look at these guys and I'm like, these are hideous. How can you not like these people? And then I think that the men who are attracted are men like Ryan Gosling because they're so pretty. They're feminine. You know? Because I'm like, oh, he's pretty. You must like him. But then there's some people like Jason Momoa that I'm like, well, he just has to be attractive. He just has to be handsome to most people. But then there's other people like the guy who plays Captain America, Chris Evans. I feel like Chris Evans is not universally thought of as attractive because there's something about his face that's kind of boyish and pretty, I think. This is just my anecdotal experience talking to lots of women about, like, who's attractive? Like, what about this guy? What about the Hulk? What about this guy? What about Mark Ruffalo? Like, the fact that people find Mark Ruffalo attractive is mind-blowing to me. But they do, a lot of people.
I mean, he looks like a dad, pretty much.
He looks like what?
A dad.
Yeah, right. But what I'm saying is, yeah, and chicks love that. Women love that.
Yeah.
But I like look at him like, how can you find him attractive? I'm like, Chris, also I don't find Scarlett Johansson that attractive. Like, I think she's hot. Like, she's for sure like a sexy person. But I don't really, she doesn't do that much for me, Scarlett Johansson. And again, I'm not saying she's ugly. She's obviously not ugly. But I'm just saying, like, she doesn't do anything for me. I'm like, oh, cool. She doesn't drive me nuts. Even when I was younger, I was like, okay. Oh, Black Widow's so hot, man. I'm like, I guess, if you say so. I don't really see it. Like, I find the Olsen, the not Olsen twin, the Olsen who plays Scarlet Witch, for example. Like, I find that style, that aesthetic to be sort of more my thing. Maybe it's like the rounder face. But the thing is, the woman who plays Scarlett Johansson. Wait, she is Scarlett Johansson. The woman who plays Scarlett Johansson, also known as Scarlett Johansson. Her face looks... she has a uniqueness to her face, almost like a model does. You know, there's something, just like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise has something off about his face. It's the extra tooth. I think we talked about it before. I think Scarlett Johansson similarly has some asymmetries to her face, to the sense where it's like interesting. It's like her face is captivating. Like, you just want to look at her body, like not her body, but like herself. I mean, like, you want to physically just look at her because like, oh, that's interesting. What is that? And then it cooks you when you watch the thing. Aunt May equals hottest woman in MCU. That to me isn't hot. Like, those women who are like hot, like cougar type hot, I don't really find them that attractive. Then again, I'm sort of taking back what I'm saying because I'm looking at some of these images, and when she's not wearing glasses, she's the nerd. When she takes off her glasses, she is the librarian who all of a sudden you realize is pretty. But